Hello everyone. I'm Claire Mackenzie. I'm part of the production team in Cambridge, but it actually started before that, and I was more relevantly tuned in to talk of that. Was the background to it. We're trying to make we are in the middle of pre-production of a film to do with soil. Obviously it's in the name, and it's to do with regenerative farming, and it started in Cambridge, and here you can see one of the fields we started on, which is in Wilbraham. And I am also with Carbon Neutral Cambridge, and this is where the project started. We got funding from the local South Cambs Council, and we started our journey around Cambridge to explore the soils. Here you can see this lovely farmer, David White, who very kindly let us film, if anyone's seen it, from the ground up. And here he was breaking into a piece of compacted soil on his neighbour's field, which has been intensively farmed, is what you mostly see around here in Cambridgeshire. And it's become so solid that he was showing us this compared to what he has done on his land. And this has inspired us to make the film we're doing now, 6 Inches of Soil, because this farmer has been doing amazing things. And here you can see when we dug into what we call a cover crop, where he never has bare soil. And this was in November we shot, and he dug in, and his soil compared to the last slide is full of life. You can see the lovely worms, but beyond that, the fungi, the microbial, the mycelium, all the things that are hidden. I am no soil expert, but the whole point of us making a film, we are mostly creatives, we have academics, and we have other support, but we are going to use the farmers as the experts and others to visit and discuss, and it's what we did with the first film in Cambridgeshire. Now this is his field. There's his full glory of these cover crops, a mixture of, you can see sunflowers obviously, and there's vetch, and there's a Facilium, there's many other wonderful plants which are feeding the soil, bringing nitrogen, calcium, phosphorus, but naturally supplying it, not from a bag, but from a plant. And when people walk through his fields, which is a unique experience near Wilbraham, Hawk Mill Farm, we bumped into people who said the life form, the joy, the birds, the biodiversity, and the fact that he wasn't spraying, and he's cut down pretty much all of his inputs. Here was another field of Facilium where he has basically he was growing rapeseed or within that crop. It's incredible. So he was making money with a commodity crop, but at the same time feeding the soil and increasing nature and not damaging the countryside around him. And this is a man who's in his 60s who had done intensive farming, but turned to this because he's fallen in love with this regenerative farming, it's called, or agroecology is what we're really looking at, which is when you go beyond farming techniques but bringing people and nature into it. This is David himself. You can see on the left the over-intensively farmed land, and on the right his land, which his soil and land is being regenerated. Now the wonderful bit to this story is I've just learned from David himself, who's continually supporting our work, that the farmer on the left, due to our filming, is now considering changing and starting to farm in a more regenerative fashion closer to nature. So it's an amazing result, and it can show that impact campaign films, as we have done with From the Ground Up locally, but the film we are now on the journey of making next, 6 Inches of Soil, can help. Then we also went to a very intensely farm up to, which obviously extremely controversial, up into the deep peatlands, and this is on G's Fresh. As many of you will know, they're some of the largest vegetable producers in Britain, certainly, and they have a global stake and they have farms in Spain. But this was Charles Shropshire, who is the son of John Shropshire, and they're the family that own it, and they are trying to farm regeneratively on peat, which is extremely hard to do. So have continual cover crops, not tills, so not ploughing so much, to protect this incredible peat. Then this is Martin Lyons. If any of you have heard about him, he's an incredible man, and one reason being is he spends his entire time, if he's not farming hard near Caxton, He leads the Nature Friendly Farming Network, which is really a good organization to look into and to understand of what farmers are trying to do, working closer to nature. He spends his time lobbying DEFRA and talking to people like George Eustace to make a difference and to try and to change the ways and get other farmers to farm in his way. And he has had a huge impact in his area. There is now a fabulous group of farmers, including a man called Tom Pearson. You can see here, this is also on many of them obviously put to stewardship, and that's funding from government, to have these wildlife areas. And you will see many of these in corners of Cambridgeshire, hopefully, although too many farmers farm around here to the margins. But if you're lucky enough and you keep your eyes open, you will have these areas which are planted up specifically for nature. This is feeding birds. It's like a natural bird table. When we were there, the noise and the joy was incredible. Amazing place to walk. So look out for these. It was actually on a farm nearer us, where I'm in Barrington, but this is nearby. So these are finally finishing with David's sunflowers, which were out in November. And the first film we did, you can find the Carbon Neutral Cambridge website from the ground up. And we also have some other vignettes. Please share them. They're a free resource and they're an amazing way of spreading the word. And talk to your farmers locally. Talk to people about it and look out for good food that's grown in this way. And the film we're producing at the moment is 6 Inches of Soil. Director is Coraline Ramsey, who has Dragonlight Productions, and I'm the producer. But we also have James Murray White, who's here tonight, who's an advisor and very much part of the creative team. And we also have other amazing people with us. We'd love you to follow our journey. Thank you.